Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party. My buddy Rhett. We are all out of Halloween candy, so back to just a plain old almond. Um, so, anyways, we are trying to get unit tests right now. Um, I have let's see, oh, npm. Let's do this. Let's go to the packages. .json. I think we have too many tabs open up top. Close others. Gets to be a bit overwhelming. So we want to run this script here. And what that'll do is it'll execute the unit tests, which are common Jasmine, which is deprecated by the Angular team. We want it to run with the watch flag. So that means, hey, if it sees any changes, to go ahead and rerun the tests, and the code coverage to generate code coverage tests. So npm run test. And you'll see that that exact same text will end up getting printed out down here. Although I feel like my console looks a little weird. Yeah, it did. I don't know why it's doing this. There was definitely a change to the console. I mean, to the IDE to Visual Studio yesterday, and it just isn't quite acting the way I'm used to it acting. Um, Looks like our application is up and running. I guess we might as well play around with it a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. And that was what we could not do before. Let's see where we are on tests. It's building, 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 building. There we go. So we have one unit test that's failing right now. I came to the conclusion, I don't think so I've definitely, this is the first project that I've ever worked on where I was like, okay, we're having unit tests. And I don't know that I've made the best use of them. I definitely have not made the best use of them. But I think that the best use of unit tests is kind of setting that aside as your time to um, absolutely positively just obsess over individual lines of code. Like if you have that kind of time, a lot of times people do have that kind of time. Um, if you're working in some sort of scenario where they expect you to test or retest and really, really um, go very, very deep before you do a PR unit. And if they have unit testing is your time to, I think, is your time to really do stuff. And we definitely have a console log that we need to comment out, at least for the moment. But, okay, so the name of the file, I got the name of the file from this right here. Um, and so I think I could just do a Control P and paste that in. And sure enough, it found it. And so the failed one says expected truthy. Does it give me a line? Line 218. 218, yeah. So it's saying, hey, I expected that to be truthy. So this is not working quite right. So we can just comment this out, save. I don't think it'll. And I don't actually, these did stop after a while, so it's not like it's going forever. It's just one of these things where it puts out so many logs that it takes the logger here a minute to print them all out. Oops. Okay, so yeah, I think we have to reload to get it to rerun the test with basically our fix is to comment it out. As you see, there's one dimmed one up there, as we have an expectation. Oh no, there's two of them that these little how these aren't as green as the ones next to them, and that means that they did not have any expectations. All right, so now we need to figure out layout loop. Okay, let's try to find that word layout loop and let's get rid of that. Here we go. It's our console log. So I think we're going to need this in the near future when we go to fix, I don't know, who knows. Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like we may be, okay, so if I reload this now, what happens? Reload. Basically, everything's all screwy because the terminal is backed up. Okay, so request animation handler is the next one. There it is. We definitely have some sort of weird issue around, like when I assign something, I think to as the request animation handler function to ThreeJS, like that's causing a little kickoff where it just runs and runs everywhere. But then I have certain things that are outside of ThreeJS that need to be animated. So I think for when I animate ThreeJS, I need to like make sure I only do that once. But if I animate in uh but if it's my stuff, I need to do it over and over and over again. I need to run every time. So basically try to put it in another way, like if I do this animation, I believe what's happening is if I go over here, yeah, see it's twice as fast now because I added a new animation, but there's like things that I'm going to want that are animated, they're not within here. So I think I've been sort of flip-flopping back and forth, and that's why it wasn't redrawn when I was resizing because I had turned off that because I was like, oh, I'm calling this over and over and over again. I'm adding it, right? So like if I change this, see now it's going. So that same animation request has been requested to ThreeJS 3 times now. That's why it's going 3 times as fast. Um, but on my stuff, like it, I think I'm going to want to be able to animate the size of the overall view and things like that, stuff that's outside of 3GS. So that I need to make sure that I only run the thing to 3JS once. But yeah, so anyways, that gets very confusing. All right, so visualizations layout. It looks like I have another one called visualizations layout. But as you notice, they stop now. I think what was happening was it was getting overwhelmed with console logs, so it just takes time. Okay, yep, there's our console log. I normally would like, I don't know that I'm going to be cleaning all these out before I commit it because I just have such a big, gnarly commit now. Okay, so let's kill this. You know what I should have done is restarted it, done the refresh on that page. That seems to go a lot better than killing this because it just takes it forever to recompile. Seems like if you just hit refresh, it doesn't. So I messed up. Messed up. Let's see, it's 8:38. So I got 27 minutes to work on this stuff. It's 41 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It's sunny. It's supposed to get up to like 71 degrees Fahrenheit, which that's gonna be pretty nice. This is in the right spot. What a pain in the butt. And this is fast. Like I've worked at places where running the unit tests like this takes it like 15 minutes before the whole thing gets built out and runs and everything. And it's just like if you're under pressure to get something done in time and then you got to spend 20, 30 minutes just waiting for the unit tests to get up and running. And then, there we go. So I'm going to go with the assumption. I don't know if this is a good assumption or not, but I'm going to go with the assumption that um, if I just go for getting these back up to 100%, that I will end up doing the two. But see, I am getting two specs, uh, error trying to delete a deleted. Interesting. Um, See, I have two specs that I'm getting warnings on, so I definitely want those warnings to go away. And then and I'm assuming that they were doing some sort of coverage, so I'll run across those when I'm doing that. So the next step is to create a new tab and then go over here and grab our index out of our code coverage folder and grab the index file and just drag it onto the browser. And then I guess we'll just sort it by, there we go. So it looks like our lowest one is this app update layout. Looks like we've got 3 lines of code not covered. We've got 2 branches not covered. And we have 3 statements and 3 lines. So now we click on it, and now this is how we can get the name of the actual component that's not being. So now we can go there, click on that, and then we can go into this view here. Oh, we were already in this view. And we can go to the spec file, and that is probably where we want to be to try to deal with this. Okay, so now we can click in here and we can see which specific lines of code. So there's a process visualization. It takes an app layout component. And if its ST render ID is greater than 0, and so this is one of those ones where you're like, it's probably easier to change this from a branch to another function so that we could pull all this out, call this function from here, and then um, it's going to be I believe it'll be a lot easier for us to test. So, and that is, I believe they call flow over, no, functions over flow. It's a functions over flow mentality. So let's come over here into this. And so basically we want a function that doesn't care about these things. Like it just assumes that that's all done and does these things. So, okay, so basically we want to basically just do everything in here. So, and all this does is set the width and height and call this finalize initialization. So, Like I said, okay, so, and this is new for me. I'm just like, okay, this is the time to obsess about the code. So what does this finalize initialization do, I wonder? App layout component. Okay, and all that does is set that it's the initialization is a flag in something app in the app update layout component. Okay, so that doesn't do a whole lot. And it just waits a second to set that for some weird reason. All right, so basically all this does is resize the viewer, so the app layout component. Viewer. Okay, so the layout component is the whole component, I think. I think this, I think this, yeah, this is for like auto resizing and stuff, I believe. Okay, so resize visual, and it's basically the same thing. And it returns a Boolean. I would think it would always return true. Basically, we just want to copy this whole thing, and I wonder if we should copy. Oh, we probably need to copy all of this. Control V. Guess I should have. Okay, so this was only there so that it would transfile. That's kind of wild. Okay, because the app layout component can't be undefined. I guess I'm guessing this app layout component, let's see, go to definition, can be undefined? No. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so I know I'm doing all the checking up there, so I think I can just assume that it's going to exist. Equals app. There's probably a better way to do this as undefined, as unknown than as. That's so weird. I don't understand this actually now that I think about it. Like why I'm saying what it is up here. I wonder if you could do that in there as out. Okay, this is very strange. Okay, so okay, what about so I'm saying that this thing doesn't have to exist. It's possibly undefined. but up here I'm checking it. I wonder if I call it directly. So let me comment this out. Now we're just playing with the transpiler, trying to get it to do what we want it to do. Now I'm wondering, like, okay, should I just, I guess maybe I should pass in the native element. Let's do that. Okay. And I don't know exactly, and I think HTML. And I think it's HTML. I don't know what it is actually. Now that I think about it, let's try to figure that out real quick. Let's undo this, and now I want to console log the native element. Now, the thing that's bothering me right now, and this is like new for me again, is that I don't really know exactly what the app layout component is, and I feel like that's probably this is the time. Like if there's a time and place to sit down and obsess about this, this is the time. Um, but man, that is like if I go down that path, I think it'll be very, very, very time consuming. Okay, so this is gonna want to. So let's comment this out for now. I don't know what an app layout component is. I think that the whole either that must be, well, let's go look. Go to definition. App update layout. Oh, okay. So this is for, did it call it app update or? Oh, okay. So this is this screen here. That's this screen right there. This is okay, yeah. So this is where we change it for the update layout. Is an app update. So that was silly. So this is specifically for the app update layout. Okay, yeah. Let's rename this. No, let's not do that now. Okay, so this is I think this is a SVG. Oh no, it's a div. It's just a regular HTML div. All right, so now we want to over here, we want to strongly type our native element to an HTML div element. And that is equal to so this is so different than like using ChatGPT. Okay, so that worked. I'm very surprised that worked. Okay. element. And now this guy, he doesn't get that. He gets an HTML. Okay. This is our editor view div. That's what that is. It's our editor view div. Editor view, and it's the visualization. It's the editor view div. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do that. Now we want to do this. Oh, crap. Okay, so this is where we assign it. We actually get the width of it and we set the outer things. So actually this, okay, well, okay, why is this not? Oh, this is an HTML element. I think we might have to pass in both. Okay, so I think we also have to pass in the actual app layout component as well. So then we'll put that here. And this is not just any app layout component, it's an app update layout component, and that's of type date layout component. I think I'm finally starting to get a sense of what these things are supposed to do. Okay, so now this is update. You know, it's kind of funny because my boss yesterday made me sort of do almost the exact opposite of this, where it was like, send in the piece that, and then derive it, you know, like here I'm sending in something that should be already part of it. But I think native element. And this, oh, I'm sorry, this is the native element. And I guess this is just very good practice of, hey, sit down, look at the code that is there, and then come up to speed on it. Like this is excellent practice of for that. And I think one of the number one search view, like people that find my videos, which is not a lot of people. I'm not trying to say that there's a lot of people that find it, but the oh, but one of the search term that most brings up my videos is um, Angular practice. So it does tell me that like there's a lot of people that are just like trying to figure out like how do you work on this skill of Angular? How do you make up your own crazy scenarios that are kind of the same as the scenarios that yes, that makes sense to me. Um, that are sort of the scenarios that you would run across working. You know, that's the to me the major issue. Okay, so that is great, but it is not. So resize visualization. Okay, so now I want to call this function, which will do all of this stuff. So I should be able to comment this out. How does this get called? So this just gets called, so it shouldn't need any I shouldn't have to do any special stuff for the context. Ah, there was one thing I needed to do, and that was call this line. And then normally I wouldn't want to, but just for the sake of unit tests, it might make sense to turn this into its own function as well. Let's just make sure nothing broke. Looks good. All right. So now we can easily, I think it's pretty easy to unit test this one. I think we're still going to have a problem getting that line tested. Well, I guess these two lines, period. But, like, yeah, that should be easier though. Oh, I gotta go. Just get rid of these lines of code here. And we're just make slow, steady progress. Anyways, everybody, happy coding. Bye.